Good day, everyone. I am Dominique Castañeda from BSCA 2A of University of Cebu, Lapu-Lapu, and Mandaue. And today I will be discussing to you the revised Customs Port Operations Manual or the Customs Memorandum Order 22-2010. So first, let us know our objectives. For today's lesson, we should be able to learn the glossary terms and the annexes of the Customs Memorandum Order 22-2010. So let us know more about this glossary of terms, namely the ballast, berth, bill of lading, bond, break bulk, cargo manifest, carrier, customs clearance, Coastwise Ports, container freight station, containerized cargo, Devanning, discharge port, survey or the DPS, dry dock and cargo, foreign trade, hatch, less container load, load port survey, more, non-vessel operating common carrier or the NVOCC, port of entry, Pratique, K, regular Shipside permit, Saloon Stores, sea stores, shifting of cargoes, ship stores, Shipside permit, special Shipside permits, tripping, stuffing, temporary Shipside permit, transit cargo, transshipment, and vessel. So let us know more about these terms because as we go along this manual, we will be using these terms frequently. And first is the ballast. It is a heavy cargo which is loaded on board a vessel or aircraft merely for the purpose of making it steady. So as you can see in this picture, that is the ballast of a ship that makes the ship steady. And next is the berth. The berth is the part of the pier or wharf that is occupied by a vessel or any place in which a vessel may lie at anchor or at a dock. As you can see on the pointed arrow, that is the berth of the pier. And next is the bill of lading. It is a transport document for ocean freight issued by shipping lines. So that, for an example, here is the transport document by Evergreen. That is an example of bill of lading. Bond, it is an instrument designed chiefly to guarantee the integrity and honesty of the principal, his ability, financial responsibility, and his compliance with law or contract. It is a guarantee of performance. And next is the break bulk. So what is break bulk? Break bulk is non-containerized cargo, which is grouped or consolidated for shipment and broken down or subdivided into unitized cargo such as in pallets or packed in bags or boxes. As you can see in this picture in the middle of the ship, the different commodities is packed with different packages, meaning they are not shipped in bulk but they are break bulk. And next is the bulk. From its word itself, liquid or dry goods shipped in bulk, not packed or bundled in separate airlines. Include commodities that are loose or in mass and required to be pumped, shoveled, slopped, grabbed, or forked during loading or unloading. As you can see in this picture, the sand is being forked by a, what do you call this thing? A fork. Yeah, that is bulk cargo. And next is the cargo manifest. It is a declaration of the entire cargo, as mentioned in section 14, 15, 17, and 18 in this manual. And next is the carrier. Carrier is the person actually transporting goods or in charge of a responsibility for the operation of the means of transport. It is mentioned in sections 5, 8, 11, 14, 15, and 16 in this manual. And next is the customs clearance. Customs clearance means the accomplishment of the customs formalities necessary to allow goods to enter for home, warehousing, transit, or transshipment, or to be exported or placed under another customs procedure as mentioned in section 16 and 31 of this manual. And next on the list is the Coastwise Ports. Coastwise ports are such domestic ports as are open to coastwise trade only. These include all ports, harbors, and places not ports of entry, as mentioned in section 17 of this manual. And container freight station. This normally means a warehouse or a transit shed adjacent to the container yard used for sorting and storage of container cargo both for import and export. So here's an example of container freight station, or the CFS. Containerized cargo. These are cargo stuffed inside a container van. So as you can see also to this picture, that is the picture of a containerized cargo, meaning the cargoes are stored in the container. Devanning. Devanning is the transfer of cargo from one container to another container. Here's an example of devanning. Discharge Port Survey, or the DPS. It is a report issued by an accredited cargo surveying company, or the ACSC, for bulk or break bulk cargo after the conduct of a survey at the port of discharge, as mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Next is the dry dock. Dry dock means a dock from which the water can be temporarily excluded in order to effect repairs to hulls and keels of ship for vessels. Here's an example of dry dock. As you can see, the water is being drained from the ship for them to repair the ship. Next is the in-cargo. In-cargo is the entrusted shipment of merchandise or articles from abroad, as mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Next is the foreign trade. It is the commercial interchange of commodities between different entries, export and import trade. It is also called as the foreign commerce. Hatch, an opening in ship's deck through which cargo can be lowered, as mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Here's a pic of a hatch of the ship. Next is the last container load. A container loaded with cargoes belonging to more than one consignee and or covered by more than one bill of lading, as mentioned in section 15 of this manual. As you can see in this picture, the cargo of a container, it has different colors, meaning they are owned by different consignees. Load Port Survey. It is a report issued by an ACSC for break bulk cargo to be imported into the Philippines. The report shall be submitted to the Bureau of Customs directly from the ACSC in a secure electronic format, as mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Moored. It means to secure a vessel alongside the berth by means of mooring a rope, as mentioned in section 15 of this manual. That is an example of moor. There's a rope attached to the ship to secure the vessel. The Non-Vessel Operating Common Carrier, or the NVOCC. This means a person, including an international freight forwarder, providing point-to-point international transport of shipments without operating or owning the means of transport or equipment. Next is the port of entry. This is a domestic port open to both foreign and coastwise trade. The term includes principal ports of entry and sub-ports of entry. A principal port of entry is the chief port of entry of the collection district. So here in the Philippines, we have around 15 to 17 collection districts, which is our principal ports of entry. And next is the Pratique. It is a permission granted by the quarantine official, and this is also the certificate issued by them. And next is the quay. Quay is the landing place of pier, usually of solid construction, where the vessels berth to load or unload cargo. From there, the pointed arrow, that is the quay of the pier. Next is the regular Shipside permit. This requires for all cargoes which belong to the categories of regular Shipside cargoes under the existing regulations. Saloon Stores. Saloon stores are supplies listed as such which are intended for sale on board a vessel or aircraft, while sea stores are articles, especially food, stuff, such as food, wine, cigarettes, for use or consumption only of the passengers and crew on board the vessel or aircraft upon its voyage. Shifting of cargoes. It is the transferring of cargoes from vessel to vessel and vessel to dock, dock to vessel, hatch to hatch, and bay to bay, as mentioned in section 6 and 40 of this manual. From the word itself, shifting, there is a transfer of cargoes. Ship stores. Ship stores consist of a spare equipment such as chains, anchor, and the likes necessary for the safe navigation of the ship, as mentioned in section 15 and 33 of this manual. Shipside permit. Shipside permit is an authority issued by the collector of customs or his or her authorized representative for the customs inspector assigned on a vessel to allow the discharge of cargoes specified on the permit at shipside onto lighters under guard. Next is the special shipside permit. This is also one of the types of shipside permits. So this is when cargoes do not belong to the regular shipside cargoes, the broker or the consignee has to get the authority from the collector of customs prior to the processing and approval by the entry processing division, mentioned in section 15 of this manual. Stripping. It is the act of unloading of all goods or cargoes from a container. So stripping here, by the way, here's the picture of stripping. It is to unload all the goods from the container. While stuffing, it is the filling a container with goods or cargoes. It is to fill the container with cargoes. Here's the stuffing. Temporary shipside permit. This is also a type of shipside permit. It is a written authority to discharge cargoes at shipside on the lighter as per order of the collector of customs. Transit. It is a customs procedure wherein goods are transported from one customs office to another. Transit cargo. These are goods arriving at any port from another port or place noted in the carrier's manifest and destined for transit or transshipment to another local port or to a foreign port, mentioned in section 16, 17, and 18 of this manual. And next is the transshipment. On the other hand, it means the customs procedure wherein the goods are being transport by one means of transport to another means of transport, that is transshipment. Vessels. These are waterborne boat, craft, or other artificial contrivance used or capable of being used as a means of transportation on water. Here is the picture of vessel. I think we all know what vessel is. Okay, so let's proceed to our next objective for this lesson, which is to tackle about the annexes of the Customs Memorandum Order 22-2010, and these are the following list of the BOC-OPM forms. And the BOC-OPM form number 1 is the General Permit. The General Permit shall be endorsed by the Customs Inspector assigned on board the vessel. And next is the BOC-OPM form number 2, the Clearance of Vessel to a Foreign Port, and this is the form. And next is the BOC-OPM form number 3, the Clearance of Customs Inspector assigned on board. BOC-OPM form number 4, the Inspector's Certificate of Last Cargo Discharge, whether container or bulk cargo. Next is the BOC-OPM form number 5, the Container Discharging Report, and here is what it looks like. Next is the BOC-OPM form number 6, Pier or Shipside Discharging Report. BOC-OPM form number 7, or the Assignment Order. BOC-OPM form number 8 is the Checklist. BOC-OPM form number 9, the Oath of Entering Vessel from a Foreign Port. BOC-OPM form number 10, the Oath of a Master to Manifest in Clearance for a Foreign Port. Here's what it looks like. BOC OPM Form Number 11, Oath of Master to Foreign Vessel Clearance Without Passengers. BOC OPM Form Number 12, or the Outward Foreign Manifest. BOC OPM Form Number 13, the Customs Inspector After Operation Report. The BOC OPM Form Number 14, the Inward Foreign Manifest. BOC OPM Form Number 15, the Record of Vessel Boarded. And lastly, the BOC OPM Form Number 16, or the Shipside Permit. Here's what it looks like.